What? Oh, I think it's under the big Amazon box with the mannequin heads in it. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Hey, everyone. My name is Eric Steinbacher. Today I'm going to be doing a video on miniature painting. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to be calling it. Something about it's okay to not be great or whatever. Um, so I have been painting miniatures for my board games for a little while now, not a super long time. I played D&D, have played D&D for most of my life, and started to paint figures a little bit when I was in my 20s probably, and I was pretty bad. So I gave up on it. I had a friend who was extremely good at it, and so I kind of felt like, ugh, it's not worth the effort, not worth the time when I compare my stuff to his, and it was just kind of embarrassing. But I enjoyed doing it a little bit and then kind of gave up on it for a while. Well, when I started getting back into board games 10ish years ago or so, I was started getting some games that had more miniatures and stuff like that. And so I decided, I'm gonna give this painting thing a shot again. So I was watching videos and watching tutorials and on all the different techniques and here's what you should do when you're starting, here's what you should do. And so I started doing it and I started picking up some tips and tricks and things like that. And realized despite all that, I still wasn't fantastic at it. And so I kept at it, but I started to kind of not do as many of the little things, the shading and the all the little tiny minuscule details and things like that the videos recommended, the wet palettes and things like that. And I just kind of embraced the doing it for fun, doing it to not get it done, but to have a finished product that I could put on the table. And when I did that, I kind of just started feeling better about it and better about how things turned out. I wasn't as picky about every single detail on each little miniature. I just enjoyed them for what they were, which was better than just gray pieces of plastic. And I think once I hit that point, it kind of it was liberating to just feel that cool, I got it done and it looks okay. It doesn't look great. It's you see Kickstarter pages and they have the miniatures and they're all immaculate and insane and obviously my artistic ability is not even close to that. It's pretty much on the low end. My sister got all the artistic ability in our family, so she's got that. But they were okay and they were fine. And so I was like, you know what? That's good enough. It's cool. And it adds to it. So I just kind of want to talk to people about where I'm at and where I think it's okay to get started and just do it and not feel bad or guilty or frustrated with the way that your stuff looks. Be happy that you got something on the table that's not a great piece of plastic. And once I got there, I just kind of just, all right, cool, we're good. And I started feeling good. And I'd look at a miniature that I painted and be like, it's good. It's fine. It's good. It's not fantastic. Or sometimes it's okay. It's all right. It's okay. So, I guess I just kind of wanted to, in case there's people who are out there who are just like, oh man, this is daunting, and you start watching tutorial videos and things like that, and you're like, oh, gotta deal with wet palettes, I gotta deal with this. I'm gonna let you in on kind of where I'm at and where I think that you can start at and be at a pretty okay place. So, one of the things that I did learn that I still stick to is priming the miniatures. And typically they say you do black and then you can do I forget what they call it. Sorry, I forget what they call it, but you spray a white on top of it to give it kind of a shadowed look, which can then affect painting. I prime them black. I have tried priming white, and I've tried with Project Elite. I tried priming like a deep kind of maroonish color because I thought, okay, that might give it a more black. Just do black. Like, don't worry about it. Now, the other thing is that there are all kinds of crazy primers out there that you can spend $20 on, or you can go to Menards and you can get something like this that's like $3, and this is what I use. And so it works fine. Like, you don't need to drop tons of money on it. I did not bring my paints down here. I probably should have, but you just go to your local craft store, even Walmart, and you get the little acrylic bottles. You can get a pack of 20 with a variety of colors for like $15 maybe, and then you can just start playing with those and mixing those. They work fine. You don't need to go and get a $10 bottle of, the best paints for every single color. You can if you eventually get to that point, but you don't need to. And so I'm just going to kind of give you a little bit of a breakdown of some of the stuff that I've painted that, to me, it's like, it's cool, it's good, it's better than the gray or blue or green. So Marvel United, this is the X-Men one. So here we go. We got Cyclops here. Is that the best miniature you've ever seen? No, absolutely not. It's not even close to the best miniature I've seen. But he's got brown hair, he's got blue, he's got yellow. This looks better on the table than your typical, if he was just a blue colored piece of plastic. The other thing is, a lot of times, when painting, you have something like this to go off of, and then maybe something like that where you have the front of the card, and if you're lucky, you can see the feet and what the boots look like, but a lot of times you can't see what the back looks like, so you just kind of wing it. And then lately they've been basing things, so you have to like, okay, let's look at this base, what am I supposed to do with this thing? And just at that point, I don't know, I just kind of just play with it and just have fun with it. And something like this, in my opinion, it's not awesome, but it's better than the blue piece of plastic, and it's cool. And occasionally I feel like, okay, I'm gonna paint Death May Die is one that I've been starting to paint lately. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do Cthulhu. And it's like, I start painting it, and I'm like, okay, it's fine. And then ultimately, you finish it up, and you're like, hey, that looks pretty cool. Like, I'm into that. Like, that's an exciting miniature to play with. And that's the cool thing about it, is I don't spend 20 hours on one miniature. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll throw on a movie, or I will just, watch some random thing that I've seen before and just kind of have it on in the background, or a podcast or something I listen to, and just kind of paint. And I do like a miniature a night, maybe takes 2 or 3 hours, and you end up with something like this. And if you want, you can, if you have color matching, like these, the blue and the yellows, you can get multiple done, and you can maybe get 3 or 4 miniatures done in a couple nights. And it doesn't have to be this daunting thing that takes you 10 hours for one miniature, and you're like, oh my god, I've spent 100 hours to paint Marvel United or whatever. You can get it done in a week, and then you have a painted set, and it's pretty awesome. And the other thing you can do is, even if you don't want to go that route, they have Awaken Realms has started doing the Sun Drop thing, and it's not insignificant amount of money. Like, I I never get the sun drop thing. Granted, with Awakened Realms, I don't tend to get the big miniature boxes anyway. But if you do, so I just kind of wanted to play. I have an old I have the here we go, the Dungeons and Dragons Legends of Dritz board game, that has a bunch of miniatures in it, and I was like, I'm gonna try on this set because they're, not the greatest miniatures. I'm gonna try some of like the sun dropping and things like that. So what I did is I just got a bunch of colors. First of all, I primed them all black, just with my local stuff from cheap stuff from Menards. And so they're primed black, and then I literally got a face brush from the Dollar Tree and just dry brushed, like this one, I dry brushed green. I don't know if it's going to show up. So it was all this green olive color. So I just took a dark green and I dry brushed all over it. And I don't know, I think it looks fine. It looks good. It looks similar. And I did this one in a red. I don't know how much you can see, but it gives it detail. It gives it a little extra. It gives it a little oomph instead of just being this one was black, maybe? Base. But anyway, I primed it black, even if it was black. But regardless, I did a gold. This is, I think, more of what the Awakened Realms Sun Drop tends to be like, is this gold. But again, yeah, I just literally got a gold acrylic paint bottle, and I got a Dollar Tree, I don't know, whatever, makeup brush, and just dry brushed a gold over the top. And it turned out fine. And you can I decided to just kind of play with it a little bit, and these are probably not popping very good. And I decided to accent, okay, I'll throw just a straight up green onto this bow and see if that does anything. I think my camera is terribly out of focus, but regardless, those are the kind of things that you can do with a very, very minimal startup cost and not a lot of time. And to me, it's relaxing. It's something you can just do. You can just sit around and do it. I have 2 kids, 6 or younger, and so this is something that, like, after the kids go to bed and through winding down, they can just kind of just sit and throw on something familiar and just paint and enjoy it. And when you're done, you have something like that. You have something like that is going to look a heck of a lot better on the table than your typical miniatures, and it doesn't take a ton of money. It doesn't take a ton of effort, and it's something that you can be proud of, even if it's not the stuff that you see in a lot of these videos. And a lot, like, just enjoy it for the process, and be okay with being okay. Like, you don't have to be great at it. Just enjoy it and enjoy what you come up with, and eventually you're going to find yourself, you're going to get better, and you'll start finding little tips and tricks that you think for you work. And then, yeah, when I'm done with them, I do, again, I think this is from Menards. This is a sealer that I just spray over the top of it, and it just protects them. So, like, when they're in the box or whatever, and they're banging against each other, you don't have to worry. It also gives it a little bit, you can see the kind of like sheen. It does add that. So sometimes people don't like that, and I think they make sealers that are a little like more dull, but this is, again, like $5 at Walmart. So I kind of go for the cheap and easy, and it ends up turning out pretty good. So that is my my take on miniature painting. Be okay with being okay. It just have fun with it, and your games are going to turn out beautiful. People are going to come over and be like, oh, it's awesome, so super cool. Even when you compare them to other people, you're like, they're not that good, but people don't typically paint them. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Love you guys. Be good. Have fun with whatever you're doing, and, just keep on keeping on, and we will catch you later.